Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video kicks off with a sister responding to a palm color woman who posted a video trying to explain why palm color people often stare at black folks in public. So according to her, it's out of admiration. Now, why I can understand some of that, I'm here to say that's not entirely true. Yes, it's perfectly fine to admire someone and keep it moving, but what I don't understand is the part where someone feels entitled to walk up to a complete stranger and touch their hair without asking. I personally know that I can't take that lightly, because where I come from, you don't just go around touching people's hair casually and expect to walk away unbothered. That's a very big no. In fact, touching someone's hair without permission where I come from, you will be labeled as a witch, accused of trying to cast a spell or swap energies. So it's definitely not just admiration at the point, it's invasive and disrespectful. Now sit tight, because you're about to hear from a palm color man who's setting the record straight on this whole white obsession with black people issue. Trust me, you don't want to miss this out. And I definitely insist that you watch the last clip with a sister who went all in. She broke it all the way down. I'll be right back at the end of this video to give my own 2 cents. As always, please drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's watch this.
Public service announcement to all black women. The reason why white women stare at you when we're in public is because we're admiring you. We think that you're beautiful. We think your hair is pretty. We think you wear your clothes cool. We think your skin is really beautiful. So that's why we're staring. Nothing else. I know some white women like to get in your business. But some of us, if you catch us staring, that's fine. We think you're stunning. Have a beautiful day.
So finally, at least somebody was honest. I respect this white woman that came up and said, we stare at black women because we think you're beautiful. But she did say in her comments that she can recognize that that is not always the case, because y'all don't always just only stare at us. Sometimes y'all glare at us with pure venom, hate, jealousy, and envy. So at least we can agree that sometimes it's admiration. And I always tell y'all that love and hate lives on the same spectrum. Sometimes they love you so much that they start to hate you. It brews into hate, jealousy, and resentment, envy. We always talk about these things. But it's not always because of admiration. Sometimes it literally just be jealousy and obsession. That's what it be. But at least she, you know, she's keeping it real from her perspective. What y'all think about this? But why do they be up in our business though? Like, okay, I get it. You're staring because you admire us. You think we're beautiful. You like our skin. Some of us, you like our hair, whatever. But why do you feel compelled to accost us, come up in our business, try to touch us, ask us questions? What is that part about? Because everybody keeps saying they have black fatigue. Once again, white people cannot have black fatigue. Black people have black fatigue. But they keep saying they're tired of black people. We don't bother y'all. We do not. I don't know any black person that just goes up to random fucking white people saying anything to them. As a collective, we don't do that. We do not give a fuck about what y'all got going on for the most part. Sprella is the Brooklyn way. What y'all think? Is it just admiration?
You've all waited for it, and now here it is. Obsessions, a series. Let's kick it off right away. Here is one way the welfare Olympians are obsessed with black Americans. White women are too obsessed with everyone's hair but their own. They are obsessed with different braid styles, sew-ins, and even claiming a recent stake of ownership in lace front wigs. They have so much to say, but can't back it up because of their ego. And because they are so in their ego, they are too afraid to admit that they're obsessed with any and every style that black women do. They use obsessive and demeaning and unnecessary comments like, is it real? Or is it all yours? Insane entitlement, thinking that you can just touch a black woman's hair, being super confused when they say no. They even laugh about it when they are told no, because they are that obsessed and think that they are that entitled to touch a black woman's hair. They literally think it's a God-given right. They demand to touch it. They will search to the very ends of their Mary Poppins bag to find a comment to say, I promise you. White women and men do not have creative motivation. So when they see black people have creative motivation, they become obsessed with the ideas that they see. They aren't able to breed creativity, so they become obsessed with the creative expression that they choose not to have. In simple terms, it's laziness. They are so mad and obsessed that they're now getting laws created to limit black creative expression. All of this hate when they could just admit that they're obsessed.
What's tea, racist? Let's talk.
Racists are obsessed with staring at Black Indigenous Americans at every turn. They think that they're invisible, like their gaze doesn't carry history. But that look, that is the psychic residue of centuries of unpunished surveillance. From auction blocks to plantation porches, from boarding schools, and yes, even broken police body cams. Whiteness operates like a haunted algorithm. They are programmed to stare, to scan, to surveil. Because if they're not looking at you, they might have to look at themselves and see the rot. And when you catch them staring, they suddenly pretend like they're going to tell you the color of the sky. This is envy disguised as caution, literally directing their head up to the sky as if they're having a conversation with God. This isn't just social awkwardness. This is fear posing as curiosity. This is the welfare Olympians putting their spiritual poverty on display in the presence of Black Indigenous brilliance. They look because they lack. They watch because they want. They fixate because deep down, they know. They know that they are guests in a world built by the very people they stare at like exhibits. So the next time one of them locks eyes on you like they're mapping your aura for resale, stare back. Smile. You're not being studied. You're being reminded of your power. And they can't stand it. So let's talk. I'm just gonna come out and say it. A majority of white people wish that they were Black. They wish that they had the ability to create or invent. They wish that they had the ability to wear a variety of hairstyles. They wish that they had the ability to dance. They wish that they had original fashion. They wish that their style was memorable. They wish that they were able to turn heads in public. They wish that they could spend more than 2 hours in the sun. They wish to be desired. They wish that they could smell as good as Black people. They wish that they were as superior as Black people. They wish that they were as athletic as Black people. Even wish that they were indigenous and could be gifted an entire planet from the Most High. They wish that they could excel at music and the arts. They wish that they could be scholars like Black people. They wish that they were as intelligent as Black people. They wish that they could even cook like Black people. They even wish that they could look as cool as Black people do in their cars, which explains why they have the windows rolled down at all fucking times. And the real big one, they really wish that they could age as gracefully as Black people do. Talk to you later. Let's talk. Racists are obsessed with having authority over Black Indigenous Americans, but they can't handle their nervous system quite yet, so they haven't done the complete overhaul that they've wanted to. They will assert aggressive yet lackluster dominance in the moment, but the second they receive that dominant energy back, they just can't handle it. They start shaking like a tree. Slurred speech. Incoherent or irrelevant resolve just to maintain control or look like they have dominance over the situation. Their adrenal glands are just on fucking fire. Some of them even pass out because they can't handle it. Even in those recent fishing videos where Black people can't even fish in peace, they just think that they have the authority over the entire world. Even in public places, they believe that they have the authority to tell people what they can and cannot do, which is fucking crazy. You want me to honestly believe that they did not try to colonize every single piece of land? They can't stop thinking they have authority over everything. All of this hate when you could just give Black Indigenous Americans their land back and admit that you're fucking obsessed with everything they do. Everything! Sorry for the delay, let's get right back into it. This week we're going to talk about how corporate America used their obsession as a weapon. Corporate America displayed their obsessions by creating intentional rules and regulations to limit Black people's expression in their offices. These rules were put in place to disable the natural security and posture of Black people's power, displayed with the endless creative styles and flexibility achievable with their natural hair. Forced Black women to adopt unnatural hairstyles or Eurocentric hairstyles, all to shrink and humble them. Imagine trying to dominate or shrink an area that Black women naturally dominate. I don't understand that. Black men too were also forced to cut their hair as well in unnatural hairstyles that made absolutely no sense in an effort to shrink their masculinity or to shrink the power that they have in the office. The obsession and the weaponization of Black people's hair is truly immature. To attack people for simply existing speaks to your inferiority, honestly. So ending this segment, to all you privileged, delusional people, I'm gonna stare right into the camera. All of this hate when you could just admit that you're obsessed. Now it's time to talk about the men that can't seem to take their hands off of children. And out of respect for all of the victims like myself, that's all I'll say about that. If you know, you know. As we discussed with Black women's hair, Black men's hair too bears a very odd obsession. I'm sure you've noticed at all of the various college campuses and high schools that the sudden straight hair kids now are obsessed with curly hair and a fade. A clear indicator of replicating what they see, which is simply theft. Privileged women have a tendency to hold space for such hatred within their gifts, and privileged men will unapologetically steal from a Black man, no problem. Which actually brings me to the obsession of black man's masculinity. Privileged men are obsessed with black men's masculinity. They obsess over the ability of the black man to shine in any circumstance, even at the hands of the abusers, the police. Privileged men would more than likely cross-dress before they could ever fully exude the levels of godlike masculinity that black men naturally have. Privileged people hide their obsessions behind hatred, when they could just admit they're obsessed with black people.
You know, one topic that baffles me is the white people's obsession with black people. Some of it goes back to the fact that they don't see us as fully human. Because for all of enslavement and even past that time, 3/5 human and all these things, we were seen as property. Just a taskmaster, a do-boy, a do-girl, some other, we almost like livestock. And so some of that I feel has permeated the psyche of those that descend from people that were enslavers. And some people that, because not all white people's lineage, like not all white people come from people that actually had the money or means to own people, but they acted in overseer positions. Best believe that they participated in the oppression of us, of our people. And I started digging into it because yesterday I kept seeing pop up on my timeline white people attempting to co-opt the word black fatigue to say they are tired of the ghetto, blah, 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 blah. When essentially black fatigue is what we experience just dealing with the systems and the day-to-day existing within this place that we find ourselves. The same way they took woke. They trying to take black fatigue, but we're not going for that. We're going to continue to tell the truth about that terminology. But I asked AI, and I hate AI, but I asked AI, why are white people obsessed with black people? And it responded as the people that actually programmed AI, because this is what it said. The query expresses a harmful stereotype and generalization suggesting that white people are obsessed with black people. But ChatGPT and OpenAI and all those things have been found to have racist perceptions because of the people that they only are able to pull the information as what's been presented to them, and the vast majority have been programmed by those. But so they see us as things versus as people, right? They feel they know better than us. And the constant survey, because they were pointing finger telling us what to do back then, they feel like they still know more than us or better than us how we need to conduct ourselves in life. They don't want us to occupy spaces that are above the stations that they feel that we should occupy. Thus, all this talk around DEI and meritocracy, which is nonsensical. Let's be very fucking clear. But they want us in a subservient. It's about maintenance of social hierarchy. And when they see black people rising above certain stations, they all up in arms. But my thing, and not only that, the implicit bias, and then they threatened by black joy and all these things. And that's why people say, well, if they can't stand us so much, why they can't leave us alone? Because they feel like they're still supposed to be dictating our movements, dictating, because we could not laugh on the plantation, we could not openly express ourselves. There were so many restrictions on us just existing, and these new white people are the offspring of those people, and so they still feel that they are supposed to be in the mix. And that's why when y'all be passing out passes to come to cookouts, I don't come from that. My family didn't play that shit, so I don't know nothing about it at all. No, absolutely not. We gotta do better. And then some of y'all are just so loose with information online, and I know you want to share it with your people, but you need to come up with something else. Your left hand ain't never supposed to know what your right hand is doing, and vice versa. Y'all just spilling the beans, just constantly just spilling the beans. Just share, 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 share. And that is part of the problem, because we are so community based and we're so open and welcoming to people. And that is how they came in and poisoned people against one another and captured so many people, because we were just like, oh, these are different people, but they are people. But are they though? Are they are they? It's got to be a line. Got to be a line. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that is something that has been on my mind. Why are you so obsessed? Why? And a lot of it is because you think they really do feel like they still own us. Some of them. We don't know no better.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Now that we've watched the full clips and heard the different perspectives, I just want to say this. I personally think the sister in the last clip hit the nail on the head. She said everything that's been sitting heavy on a lot of people's hearts for years. And honestly, I agree with her, because at some point, you really have to ask yourself, do some palm color people actually see black folks as fully human, or are we still being viewed through outdated, deeply ingrained subconscious lens of superiority and control? Sometimes it really feels like the issue isn't just curiosity or admiration. It's something deeper, something more uncomfortable. I think what really bothers certain folks, what palm color people, is the fact that black people are not only surviving in systems that were never built for them. You know, they are thriving in them, and not just thriving, they're setting records, you know, trends, breaking records, leading innovations, and shining in ways that simply can't be ignored anymore. For example, let's talk about black excellence for a second, because it's real and it's everywhere. From science to sports, from art to entrepreneurship, from fashion to tech, we are inventing, creating, dominating. Look at history. So many of the innovations we take for granted today were developed or improved by black minds, from the traffic light to blood banks, from home security systems to modern rock and roll. It's all there. You know, black folks have been doing great things. They're still doing great things, and they're only getting started. And let's not even get started on athletics. That's not even a secret anymore. Black athletics dominate across multiple sports. It's excellence that can't be denied, yet some people still try. They cheer when black folks are performing, but the moment black folks speak up, the moment black folks ask to be treated equally, to be respected, not to be touched or stared at like exhibits in a museum, then suddenly black folks are loud, aggressive, and grateful. All the same tired stereotypes get thrown our way. It's getting exhausting. And here we are in 2025. The world is literally on fire. Storms, floods, wildfires, volcanoes. Nature itself is in a protest. Everything around us is screaming that humanity needs to unite, needs to evolve, needs to stand together. But still, some people are clinging to systems of control and division, like their lives depends on it. Still finding ways to belittle, dismiss, and disrespect black folks in both subtle and overt ways. Let me say this very clear. Let me make this clearly. Those days are over. We are not going backwards. That era of submission and silence is, long gone. It's tata. Black people are reclaiming their space, their power, and their voice. Yes, we do not condone violence on this channel. That is not what we promote here. But at the same time, we are going to call things what they are. If the energy being sent our way is disrespectful, invasive, or dehumanizing, we're going to address it. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to tiptoe around it. An eye for an eye when it comes to calling out the truth for what it is. Because at the end of the day, respect is a two-way street. Admiration without boundary is not a compliment. It's entitlement. Curiosity without consent is not harmless. It's invasive. And praise that only lasts until we speak up for ourselves is not real. It's a performance. So yes, I am with the sister who spoke in the last clip. Some people aren't ready to accept that black folks are capable of greatness equal, if not greater than what they thought they could achieve alone. And that realization is shaking up our old system that were never meant to include black folks. But here is the truth. We're here now, Black folks are here now. We are present, we're powerful, and we're not going anywhere. So with all that being said, I really want to hear from you guys. What did you think about these clips you've just watched? Do you agree with the perspectives shared? Have you ever come across someone who crossed the boundaries under the excuse of admiration, or felt like your success or voice made others uncomfortable just because of who you are? Let's talk about this in the comment section down below, respectfully, honestly, and with an open mind, because conversations like this matter. And yeah, I want to thank you all for watching this video, for subscribing. Please don't forget to like the video if you feel like this message we've shared has impacted you in one way or the other. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like I said, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload such videos, you'll be notified. I'll definitely see you in my next video, and as always, please stay peaceful.